Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video and another one in the series in which I'm taking a closer look at a specific year in music and I try to make a top 5 of that specific year. And I've come to the year 1985. I think these are exciting years in the 80s because there are so many different genres and so many different things going on, so many different sounds developing, and let me dive straight to it. On number 5 spot, I'm putting a live album. And I know that's controversial, not everybody likes live albums. I think this is at the core of awesome metal. Iron Maiden, Live After Death. This is epic. When I first started to discover Iron Maiden, of course, I bought Number of the Beast. Great album. But there was a record salesman at Waterloo Square. There are a couple of pretty good record salesmen at Waterloo Square in Amsterdam. And he said, you know what? If you're getting into Iron Maiden, try and find Live After Death. So I said, Death? I said, yeah, Death. Live After Death. And I said to him, yeah, but do you have one? No, man. You rarely find one. So I started searching, and it was a pretty expensive record, and of course you can buy it on Discogs. For me, finding vinyl in the wild is part of the fun. So I've ordered records on Discogs, and obviously, if it's tough to find, there's always Discogs. But the joy is to find it in the wild. Now, I couldn't find it in Amsterdam, I couldn't find it in some other cities in the Netherlands, and then when I was, I believe it was for work in Germany, in a city called Münster, I went into a record shop with loads of metal, and then in a €5 bin, seriously, in a €5 bin, they had this first German pressing, and German pressing sound good, first German pressing of this album, and it sounds awesome, and it is such a beautiful, energetic live album. It has so much power. I mean, so many awesome songs. Phantom of the Opera, Phantom of the such a great song. Power Slave, The Number of the Beast, Run to the Hills. I mean, this album goes on and on and on, and it is just a constant kick in the nuts of incredible music making, incredible playing, and it is a beautiful, impressive album. I love it. On the number 5 spot, Iron Maiden, Live After Death. Now, I did not include in the list already. No, I'll tell you that later on. I'll keep that as a surprise. On the number 4, Run, Sodomy and the Lash by the Pogues. And I was lucky enough to find a first British pressing of this. Oh my, this is awesome. You know what? I'll get the foil off. It's awesome. I mean, this is the story of a brilliant songwriter, an Irish songwriter, Shane MacGowan, who has the most beautiful, brilliant lyrics. I mean, this is a man who reads novels. I mean, he's one of the great lyricists, and he has this Irish identity, an Irish history to what's going on. I mean, he started smoking when he was 4. He started drinking when he was 3, and and that can all be found on this album, which has an incredible full sound. It's produced by Elvis Costello, and Elvis Costello knew how to get the rough elements of this powerhouse of a band there. Completely unique, uncomparable to anything. I mean, I wouldn't even be able to call other Irish bands who have this identity this strongly, and also this with this aggression. I mean, there is a beautiful, strong aggression to this, and I love it when a record can hold that. The Pogues, Rum, Sodomy, and the Lash. Awesome album. Now I'm going to the number 3 spot on this list, and the number 3 spot, I'll also get the foil off of this one, is for the Smiths with the album Meatest Murder. Found this by coincidence in a second-hand store, and I paid 50 cents for it. For a first Dutch pressing in a beautiful quality, and it sounds pretty good, but I'm still searching for a first UK one. Now, I obviously love the song Meatest Murder. It is so strong. Lyrically, melodically, there's so much going on here. That joke isn't funny anymore. I mean, oh, awesome, awesome album. The Smiths are among my top of favorite bands. If you'd like to know more about what I think of the Smiths, I also made a top 5 video with regard to the 5 best The Smiths songs. So you can find it on my channel. And then I'll tell you more about the Smiths. Now, I'm going to go to the number 2 spot here. Tom Waits' Rain Dogs. Oh, this is so good. It is Tom Waits with a lot of shorter songs, but he is challenging the avant-garde. There are so many incredible melodies, so many strange sounds. He is exploring new terrain. He also has an album before this, Swordfish Trombones, which is slightly in the same category, but I think that Rain Dogs is the real banger of his work. I mean, it's completely impressive what he's doing here. Also, just as with the case with the Smiths, if you'd like to know more about my opinion of Tom Waits, I made a top 5 video with the best Tom Waits albums, which you can also find on my channel. This one, masterpiece from 1985. But for me, the number 1 album, and I'm not including Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair. I made a video about that with regard to in the 1001 Albums book, and I also told why I didn't put it in this list. So the number 1 spot is not going to be for Tears for Fears, which is often seen as one of the big albums from 1985. But I'm gonna give it to a record I actually hated until a year or 2 ago. Dire Straits. Brothers in Arms. I used to be in a rock band, and we played we played cover versions, and our bass player was completely a Dire Straits fan. But I only loved energetic rock, and I wanted to sing energetic rock, and my voice just couldn't. It wasn't. I mean, me trying to do a Mark Knopfler was pathetic. I mean, I did not have the chill for that. So I hated Dire Straits because I couldn't work with it. I didn't like their sound. And then on a certain day, I found a European pressing for 50 cents or €1 in a thrift store. And I listened to it, didn't like it. I listened to it again, didn't like it. And then I was in Germany, and there was a record player, and the sun was falling beautifully through the window. I thought, you know what? I'll give it another spin. And by magic, I fell in love with this album and what was going on. And then a friend of mine bought this one, Mobile Fidelity SoundLab version, and I bought it from him. And this is a 45 RPM pressing. And when I heard that, I mean, I just went nuts. This is such a beautiful, rich sounding album. And Mark Knopfler has something to say. I mean, these are lyrics. Money for Nothing is a very good written song. I mean, it is a song from the perspective of people looking, working class people looking with not awe, but with jealousy towards the MTV artists, which is, I mean, that's a real good story with beautiful sound, beautiful vocals by Sting, by the way. So many great songs. But for me, at the center of it, great song after great song after great song. Brothers in Arms itself. About the Falkland War, I mean, I only know the Dutch pronunciation. And the way he's describing the connection from these soldiers, it is like you can hear their fear, and it is like you can hear the mist in the song. It is an undescribable production, an undescribable writing. This album is a rare gem, a rare masterpiece. So, well, those are my 5 favorite albums from 1985. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.